James Garner was born, James Scott Bumgarner, on April 7, 1928, in Norman, Oklahoma, the youngest of three boys in a working-class family shaped by hardship. His early years were defined by profound loss when his mother died suddenly while he was just 5 years old, an event that left a lasting emotional wound. His father later remarried, but Garner's relationship with his stepmother was deeply strained, and he later described that period as painful and formative. Growing up during the Great Depression added further pressure, forcing him to mature quickly and rely on self-discipline rather than comfort. Struggling at school and lacking stability at home, Garner eventually dropped out of high school and drifted through a series of jobs. Those early hardships forged a quiet toughness and empathy that would later become hallmarks of both his personality and his performances. War, wounds, and an unexpected path. Before Hollywood ever entered his life, James Garner served his country during the Korean War, an experience that deeply shaped his worldview. He first joined the Merchant Marines and later enlisted in the U.S. Army, where he was wounded twice in combat and awarded 2 Purple Hearts. These experiences instilled humility, discipline, and a lifelong aversion to unnecessary bravado. After returning home, Garner felt uncertain about his future, unsure of where he belonged in civilian life. Acting was never a childhood dream, but rather an unexpected opportunity that emerged through encouragement from friends. With a natural presence and understated charm, he began finding work in commercials and small roles, eventually signing a contract with Warner Brothers. Unlike many aspiring stars, Garner approached acting as honest work, not self-promotion, carrying his soldier's mindset into every role he accepted. Maverick and the reinvention of the TV hero. Garner's breakthrough arrived in 1957 with the television series Maverick, where he portrayed Brett Maverick, a witty and reluctant Western hero who relied on intelligence rather than brute force. At a time when television cowboys were typically stoic and severe, Garner's charm, humor, and vulnerability felt revolutionary. Audiences quickly connected with his relaxed confidence and natural comedic timing, and the show became an instant hit. Brett Maverick was clever, flawed, and human, qualities that reflected Garner's own personality. The role turned him into a household name and reshaped expectations for leading men on television. Rather than portraying invincible heroes, Garner specialized in relatable characters who adapted and survived through wit and integrity. Maverick not only launched his career, but established a template for television protagonists that influenced generations of storytellers. A seamless transition to film, stardom. Unlike many television stars of his era, James Garner successfully transitioned to film, proving his versatility and depth as an actor. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, he built a filmography marked by intelligence and restraint. In The Great Escape, he played a resourceful Allied officer alongside Steve McQueen, while The Americanization of Emily showcased his ability to blend satire with emotional sincerity. Garner never chased exaggerated heroics, preferring performances grounded in realism. His turn in Support Your Local Sheriff leaned into comedy without sacrificing credibility, while Murphy's Romance earned him an Academy Award nomination and reaffirmed his appeal as a mature romantic lead. Directors admired his professionalism and lack of ego, and co-stars valued his generosity on set. Garner elevated every project through subtlety, proving that quiet strength could be just as compelling as spectacle. Jim Rockford and a career-defining role. In 1974, Garner returned to television with The Rockford Files, a series that redefined the detective genre. As Jim Rockford, he portrayed a private investigator who preferred negotiation over violence and lived modestly in a trailer by the beach. The character felt refreshingly authentic, reflecting the struggles of everyday people rather than mythic toughness. Garner infused Rockford with humor, moral clarity, and vulnerability, making the role deeply relatable. The series earned him an Emmy Award and became one of television's most influential dramas. Behind the scenes, however, the demanding schedule and intense physical requirements took a toll. Garner performed many of his own stunts, enduring repeated injuries that would affect his health for decades. Despite this, he remained committed to delivering quality performances, driven by a deep respect for the audience and the craft. Love, loyalty, and a rare Hollywood marriage. James Garner's personal life stood in sharp contrast to Hollywood's reputation for fleeting relationships. He met Lois Clark in 1956 at a political rally, and within 2 weeks, they decided to marry. Their union endured nearly 6 decades, a testament to loyalty, patience, and mutual respect. Though their marriage faced challenges, including a brief separation in the 1970s, their bond remained unbroken. Garner often described Lois as his anchor, crediting her with helping him navigate fame and personal struggles. He lovingly embraced her daughter Kim as his own and later welcomed their daughter Greta, remaining a devoted and hands-on father. Family was central to Garner's identity, and he prioritized emotional presence over public image. His enduring marriage became one of Hollywood's quiet success stories, rooted in commitment rather than spectacle. Integrity, activism, and standing his ground beyond acting, James Garner was known for his integrity and moral courage. He supported the civil rights movement and attended the 1963 March on Washington, believing deeply in equality and justice. In an industry often dominated by studio power, he also stood up for himself, famously winning a lawsuit against Warner Brothers over contract disputes. The victory was rare at the time and helped shift power dynamics for actors. Garner never sought confrontation, but he refused to compromise his principles. Colleagues respected him for his fairness, honesty, and refusal to exploit others. These values carried into his performances, where characters often reflected quiet decency and inner strength. Garner's reputation off-screen mirrored the authenticity he brought on screen, reinforcing his status as a respected figure both professionally and personally. Finally, speaking about Jack Elam. For years, fans noticed James Garner's silence regarding his longtime colleague Jack Elam, a distinctive character actor best known for his unforgettable screen presence. Shortly before his passing, Garner finally addressed the subject with sincerity and warmth. He explained that his silence was never indifference, but respect. Garner described Elam as a true original, someone whose unique appearance and instincts made every role memorable. Though their personalities differed, Garner admired Elam's professionalism and generosity, particularly toward younger actors. He shared stories of Elam quietly helping others on set, ensuring everyone felt supported. Garner dismissed rumors of rivalry as exaggerated Hollywood folklore, emphasizing mutual respect above all else. His words reframed Elam's legacy not as a curiosity, but as a craftsman who understood storytelling deeply. In breaking his silence, Garner honored a colleague with dignity rather than drama, health struggles, and quiet perseverance. The physical demands of Garner's career eventually caught up with him. Years of stunt work left him with severe knee injuries, requiring multiple surgeries during and after the Rockford files. In 2000, he underwent total knee replacements, regaining some mobility but never fully escaping pain. His health challenges deepened in 1988 when he underwent quintuple bypass heart surgery, a life-saving procedure that forced him to confront long-term habits, including smoking. Though quitting proved difficult, he eventually succeeded later in life. In 2008, Garner suffered a serious stroke, marking a turning point that led him to gradually withdraw from public life. Despite these setbacks, he faced each challenge with resilience and humility, focusing on recovery and family rather than sympathy. His perseverance mirrored the quiet strength he portrayed throughout his career. A legacy of grace and authenticity. James Garner passed away on July 19, 2014, at the age of 86, leaving behind a legacy defined by authenticity, kindness, and unwavering professionalism. Though health issues marked his final years, his spirit remained admired by fans and peers alike. Garner is remembered not for scandal or ego, but for redefining heroism through decency and restraint. His characters felt human because he was human, flawed, compassionate, and principled. Whether playing a gambler, detective, soldier, or romantic lead, he brought honesty to every performance. In finally speaking about Jack Elam, Garner reinforced the values that guided his life: respect, loyalty, and truth without spectacle. His impact on American film and television endures not through loud legacy, but through the quiet power of sincerity.